So far this basketball season, everything has been pretty solid for the most part. I'm getting my legs up under me, and although I'm still coming off the bench, my impact simply can't go unnoticed. We're playing one of the toughest teams in the country in Kentucky, and I'm still getting to my spots, knocking down shots, and I hate to be that guy, but the game just seems to come easy to me. Being a quarterback makes it easier to see the floor well, and despite my lack of speed on the football field, my quickness does the trick on the court. We would end up pulling off a huge upset against the Wildcats, and that would be my last game on the pitch count. I've been playing well enough that coach finally inserted me into the starting lineup. I mean, hell, I haven't even started a football game yet, and my first start on college campus is as a basketball player. It was just an added bonus that the game happened to be at home. I was having my way out there versus Tar Heels, getting to the basket, catching bodies, dunking on people, coming off of screens, knocking down shots, you name it, we were getting it done. I was having my way out there, getting to the rack, finishing through contact, but later on in the game, there was one play we were on the break, breaking down the defender, getting to the basket, we catch a mean dunk, but we land awkwardly on our legs. We fall down to the ground, we get up, we finish the game, but we're walking gingerly. We were unable to finish the game, and we end up losing to the Tar Heels by 3. I don't think the injury's that big of a deal, but the game was nationally televised. X-rays would come back negative, and I would have to miss 1 to 2 weeks. Well, at least I thought. You see, my football coach got wind of the injury, sat me down in his office, and gave me an ultimatum. He said, "Pernell, you're at this school on scholarship to play football. Your best ability is availability. And if you're not available to play the sport that got you here for a free education, then son, I simply don't need you on my football team." You see, once again, I was hit with the ultimatum of choosing between football and basketball. But if it's one thing my pops taught me as a young man growing up, you never bite the hand that feeds you. So as much as I still want to hoop, I have to bite the bullet and take care of those guys that believed in me in the first place. We would heal up nicely and come into camp fighting for the number 2 quarterback position. And no matter how hard our teammates tried to sell us, we would fight through adversity and eventually end up winning the spot. Now, our first collegiate appearance would eventually come out on a field goal during holding duties, but hey, perfect hold, we get to 3. We would eventually lose our home opener to UW 38-10, but one thing that showed me was that QB1 position wasn't necessarily out of my reach this season. We got in during a blowout game versus Oregon State, once again at home, 46-3, and I think I wowed and impressed everybody in the rain as we rolled out of the pocket and delivered this tight throw to our running back out of the backfield. I thought I had my first collegiate touchdown with 3 seconds left in this ball game, but of course, my teammates sold me. 6 games into the season, I will finally get my shot. Coach has officially offered me a position battle with our QB1. Things will be a little bit shaky at first, but we will eventually settle down, and to my surprise, my teammates were even out there to help me make plays, and we just wanted to keep things simple and take what the defense gave us, and at that point, we officially won the job. Now, our first official start will be against a 1-4 Purdue team, and the same principles that applied in a position battle apply here. Take what the defense gives you and don't try to do too much. We would cap off our first ever collegiate starting drive with a touchdown pass to our receiver on the outside. And on our second drive ever as a starter, we throw touchdown number 2. And I can't lie, once we picked up this 4th and 4, I started feeling myself just a little bit. In the red zone, once again, we throw our 3rd touchdown pass of the day, and I couldn't help but start to think that we actually belonged. I mean, hell, I was pretty much doing everything I wanted out there, outrunning linemen, outrunning linebackers, picking up first downs with our legs. And after touchdown pass number 4, this was pretty much my job to lose. We would end up losing my starting debut because our defense couldn't stop a Pop Warner team, but the football gods giveth and the football gods taketh away. In our second start, we struggled out the gate. I will get a little bit more of my confidence back as we hit our receiver on the outside here with this bomb that gets us down inside the 35-yard line. But today, most of our favorite receivers happen to play for the other team. We will make an excellent throw in a tight window to Jalen Phillips here, and that would eventually set up our second touchdown of the day as we're able to get a 5-yard rush. Now, our teammates would do most of the heavy lifting out here today as we are able to pick up a win on the road, but this would officially mark our first win as a starter in collegiate football. On our first drive in our next game versus Utah State, we would immediately march down inside the red zone and we would toss this pass to Pinocchi, but he ended up dropping it. Now it's tight, but cooler heads will prevail as on the very next play, we drop a dime to our tight end. Now I know it's frowned upon, but for some reason we just can't seem to stop throwing the ball to the other team. But for every poor throw, it just seemed like we would answer back with a great throw as we hit Jalen Phillips over the middle. He breaks a few tackles across the 50, but he would eventually get stopped short. But we go right back to Phillips here on our next play, and we hit him for an 18-yard touchdown. Now in our 2-minute drive before the half, we got a 2nd and 19. We roll out and deliver a dot to Perry. Perry breaks a tackle and breaks another, and that's going to set us up to try to score before the half. Now with 16 seconds left, 1st and goal, we hit Rodgers with a touchdown over the middle. That gave us the lead going into the locker room, but this might be our play of the season as we hit Perry on the corner. He breaks one tackle. He has to beat one more. He does. He's off to the races. 5 touchdown Rainbow Warriors. Now Utah State is fighting to stay in this game, but we drive down the field once again and throw an absolute bullet to Phillips here. That's going to put us down inside the 1, and that's going to set up this easy 1-yard rush from our running back, and that's going to extend our lead to 10. We end up winning the game, and we have the game of our life, throwing for 5 touchdowns and nearly 500 yards. Very efficient day, 22 for 30. Now here versus Nevada, we need to win this game to keep our bowl hopes alive. This is where legends are made. Down 3, 2 minutes left in the game, 2nd and 2. We roll out, we pick up the 1st down, and we're going to extend this drive. Now on the 1st and 10, I think this throw right here is going to be the biggest throw of our career, the clutchest throw of our career. We had to put the perfect amount of touch in there to fit that around 4 separate defenders, and that's going to set us up inside the red zone. Now with 1:16 left here on the 1st and 10, I kind of wish I would have taken my time here, but I couldn't pass up an opportunity to score a guaranteed 6. Now our defense did have a chance to make a stop here. Nevada has 1 timeout with 20 seconds left. They deliver a strike. Now with 17 seconds left, they just have one job. Do not get beat behind you, and that's exactly what they do. Victor Snow scores a 12-yard touchdown. Now, nobody better for the job here on the Hail Mary. We have 1 throw left. We do have 99 throw power. Our man has his guy beat deep. He's unable to make a play, and we are going to lose this game at home and lose the ability to go bowling. We fall by 3 to Nevada. Now, although we won't be playing for anything after this week, we are not just going to lay down and die, and I honestly think this is our greatest play of the season. What a throw in the back of the end zone. Rolling out, we got to set our feet, we got to keep our eyes downfield, and we deliver an absolute strike only where our receiver can make a play on the ball. Now, although we're not much of a runner, coach likes to run these option plays just to keep the defense a little bit honest, but this time it backfires as we go down with an injury to our throwing shoulder. Now, everything wouldn't be all bad. We would sit a few plays and come back and throw an absolute dime. Then after that, we would keep the ball on the ground once again, making the defender look foolish. Then we would roll out and throw this absolute laser to our receiver on the outside, giving us a 14-7 lead. Now, all things started to point to the fact that we might be getting ready for a shootout, and we're having an outer body experience here as we throw another absolute dot to the back of the end zone. Now, Fresno State was making things a little bit easy with this broken coverage here, but we did have to make the occasional tough throw like this one towards the end of the first half. But our feet will get us in trouble once again as we roll out and try to pick up some extra yards with our legs. We spin, we get lit up, we go down, and we hurt our shoulder again. We will check back in the 3rd, and we would throw another great timing ball out to Pinocchio. He makes a man miss and finally brought down. But the drive will come down to a screeching halt, and we will actually miss our field goal attempt. In the 4th quarter, our kicker would take advantage of his redemption arc, and he would knock one through. And in the 4th quarter, we would make the boneheadedest throw of all time, completely negating all the good throws we made this time, and we did not see the middle linebacker, and we throw a huge interception with less than 3 minutes. Now, luckily for us, our defense picked it up, and they got a stop here on 1st and 10, and we're rolling out with less than a minute, forced to throw it away. But things would only get worse as we miss our wide open tight end for the game-winning touchdown, selling this one out of bounds. We would be injured on this 3rd down, throwing this ball away. And as head-ass as our coach can be, instead of settling for 3, he's going to go for it here on 4th down, and we get sacked to end the game. Now, we would end our first season as a starter under 500 at 2-4, the same as Cam and Cooper. But at least the team got better, and we won more than 1 game this season. We started the same amount of games as Cooper this season. Both of us started 6 games. We both went 2-4, but our numbers were exceptionally better than his. Now, going into our 3rd season, the QB1 position is our job to lose. But I got a feeling we're going to turn it up just another notch in season 3.
Hey. Niggas want me to lose, but I can't. I've been stacking this shit to the ceiling. Know some niggas with bodies, and it ain't no probably. We never speak on them killers. Everybody on my block gon' get them some money. It's only a couple of drillers. I've been fucking them hoes, man. Them bitches ain't nobody. Boy, get the fuck out your feelings. Drop my son off to school in the morning. After that, headed straight to the bank. Nigga